Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been a minute since I've done a sit down with you guys, especially talking about surgery, since I have been getting into my vlogs lately. I keep getting so many DMs with you guys having so many questions about surgery. So apparently, no matter how many times I think that I have run out of ideas or topics or answers to you guys' questions, I guess you keep letting me know, like, no, we want to hear you talk about this. We have questions and we want answers. So y'all know the best way I can do it is write down some of these questions. One of the questions says, I haven't been able to eat after surgery. On top of not being able to eat, I'm not able to keep my food down. I have two things as soon as you get out of surgery. Two things are follow your doctor's orders and listen to your body. Now, it is very important to follow your doctor's orders. Why? Because it is your doctor. They have performed this procedure on many people, so they are going to know what you are supposed to do before surgery and after surgery. But you have to remember that your doctor is still a human. And with that being said is, everyone's body is different. So when your doctor says, hey, I want you to start eating this at this time, I want you to start your liquid diet, I want you to stop it, then on this week I want you to do this, and so forth and so on. At the end of the day, he's still only going by what he's supposed to tell his patients to do in the process of, hey, this is the surgery you had, this is what is supposed to be happening typically in these days and in these upcoming weeks. But again, you are another human, just like he's a human. So just like your body can tell you when it's tired, it tells you when it's hungry, it tells you every single thing you need to do. The brain functions like that. So your brain works like this. You wake up in the morning, first thing you do, you get up, you know, brush my teeth, wash my face, breakfast. So just because you had surgery, it does not mean that your mind and your brain is not remembering, now it's time for breakfast. That doesn't go away. The difference that happens when you have the surgery is that now that it is telling you, hey, it's breakfast time, it's time to eat, your body is not going to allow you to. Which is how come during the first steps, your first steps will be nothing but liquid. Because ultimately, your stomach is not going to be prepared to put down any solid foods. And even though it is saying, hey, you're on this liquid diet, it does not mean that you are supposed to or going to be able to drink a certain amount of liquid every day all the time. So for instance, let's say, oh, hey, I just had the surgery, my doctor put me on this liquid diet, yet I'm not hungry. For some reason, I can't keep any liquid down. I'm not even thinking about drinking anything. I just want to lay here, heal, and just go through whatever emotions I'm going through. That is okay. It's okay to feel like that. It's okay to be like that, because at the end of the day, your body is recovering from something that it is not used to. When your mind and your brain is saying, hey, you're hungry, or hey, it's breakfast time, and yet you can't even keep down any water or any juice, it's just because your body is still recovering. I keep telling you guys over and over. If your doctor is saying, hey, I want you to drink, you know, a liter of water this many days, or do this that many days, if your body is telling you, hey, this is too much, you can't do it, guess what? It's too much and you just can't do it. And it is okay. You do not have to feel like you are failing or like something is wrong just because you are not able to look at what's on paper for that post-op. And you're saying, oh man, I'm supposed to be able to drink this much or do that much. It's not happening. I'm not doing something right. This surgery didn't work, or it is working, or it's not doing that, or I'm not seeing anything. It's okay. Turn the panic button down just a little bit and just listen to your body. Listen to your body. That was the number one rule I told myself, because throughout this journey, Nothing went according to my paper that I had. When it came down for me to be able to eat and do this and do that and work out, my body was like, no. No, no, no. It's not happening. So now let's skip to where we talk about the actual food once you're able to get your liquid down. All right, let's say you're still having problems with drinking as much as you want to drink. Now it says, hey, you can move on to like oatmeal, applesauce, things like that. You're excited. It's like, okay, I finally get to go back to something that I ate for breakfast before oatmeal. Yes, I could taste it, smelling so good. And then you take one bite and you're probably running to the bathroom off of oatmeal. Or if you're not running to the bathroom, it's just coming up right now. Like whatever, all those great memories and thoughts and that excitement just went out the window as soon as you took 1 or 2 bites of the oatmeal. Because for some reason, your body is rejecting it. Now, I'm no doctor. I have no idea why. The paper is saying, hey, you're on this week or you're on this day. You can now move to oatmeal. And then your body is saying, nope, no, you're not. So you thought. All I can say is you just have to listen to your body. So for me, my body did not start rejecting anything until I actually went on to the days and the weeks where I had to start eating fish and real foods. My body was like, no. Go back to the last step and stick to that because you are not ready to pass go and collect 200. It was not having it. You are having challenges when being able to eat. You need to stay on the step that you are in and then slowly continue to make your way. So if 2 bites made you feel like, hey, I can't keep this down, this is not working for my stomach, how about next time try 1 bite? How about in 30 minutes or an hour try to take another bite? How about wait maybe 2 hours and try to take 1 more bite? Slowly try to get your body to be able to adjust. And that is simply what I'm saying. So when you guys hear me say, oh, my body wasn't having it when it was time for me to move the fish or eggs or things like that, I didn't stop trying because you have to still get this food down. You want to still get your body prepared to allow you to move back to these foods, but it's not all going to happen at once, and it probably won't happen in 1 day or 2. You have to slowly make these changes, and you have to be able to understand that these changes take time. Way more time than what you're probably thinking in your head. And I simply say that because it may say on paper that you're ready to move to these steps, but if your body say you're not ready, then guess what? You're already a week behind, or maybe 2 weeks behind. You may only be a couple days behind. Either or, it simply just lets you know that now you need to look at the steps that you have to take, but you have to also listen to your body and do not skip any steps. If your paper says, hey, you went from a liquid diet, now you're on to your applesauce and oatmeal, things like that, don't skip that step and just think that, oh, you know what? It has fish on this list. I'm hungry, I want some food, I'm about to get ready to go make me some grill me some fish, do whatever. I'm about to smash it up, eat it like baby food, whatever I have to do because I'm about to get this fish down. No. A baby does not start crawling one day and then tomorrow they're walking. It takes time. They have to get used to crawling. They have to get used to mobility. They have to get an understanding that, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm now being able to move around this house without someone carrying me. They have to get accustomed. The brain has to get accustomed to now being able to function and move those things. So now your stomach and your brain is already, your body is already like, okay, you know what? Something already changed. So drastic. This woman took away half of my stomach. that's what the other half of your stomach is saying in there, you know? It's like, okay, she done took half of me away. Now she's only giving me ice and water and juice, and what is happening? So then your body, it starts, the longer you do that, it adapts. You know, it's like crawling, it adapts. All right, we're getting used to this. So now you're trying to take your body to the next phase. And it's like, hold on again. You making more changes. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if we're ready. I don't know if I want to do that. But you still have control. Because you can't let it take control. So you still have control. You just have to see how to take control. So taking control is, all right, last time it was a little too much. Now I'm going to just do just a little bit. And if you've had this surgery, you know that just a little bit is just enough. And we're going to get into learning what just enough is. Because so many people talk to me about being concerned about this surgery because it's like, oh, am I going to eat and get full again? Or how am I going to know? You're going to know because you're going to realize that after surgery, too little is just enough. Another issue is that once you are moving on to these phases, let's say you've gotten past the point to being able to finally eat certain foods. Because you say you haven't been able to eat. So now you're able to eat. We got that out the way. Now we can eat small little things, whether it's one bite here, an hour, another bite there. Now you're going through a week to where you're doing one bite, you're listening to yourself, and then you can't keep it down still. You're in, let's say, day 40, day 50, day 60, and it seems like you're back in week 2 and 3 because you're not able to keep any food down. It's okay. It's only a few things happening. Either you ate too fast, you ate too much, you ate too soon, maybe you had something to drink before you ate, maybe you took too many bites. I mean, it could be so many different reasons to why you aren't able to keep food down. Sometimes I couldn't even keep food down because I would eat a bite of my food. And as I was sitting there waiting to take my other bite, the smell of the food was bothering me. I have no idea why. There's no explanation. This is just my experience. It could be something so simple like that. Everything isn't, oh man, this is happening and it's bad. Or this is happening and what did I do wrong? Some things just happen. No explanation. You will never understand it. I think after an hour or two, I was starving again. I took a bite of this same food. Everything was good. No problem. I have no idea why. So sometimes throughout this journey and this process, you have to just accept that some things are just going to happen. That's just what that is. No explanation. You have no reasoning. You don't know. Sometimes it is. Oh, you know what? I did just have something to drink about 15, 20 minutes ago. My doctor suggested to not drink anything up until 30 minutes before I eat my food, or I won't be able to eat or hold as much down. Well, I'm going to tell you, I am a person that when I eat, I drink. I have never been the type of person to not be able to drink while I'm eating something. I have no idea. I'm eating, my mouth tends to get dry. I need to take a sip. Well, after this surgery, it definitely made me change some of my ways. Because if I took a sip before I ate, guess what? I was full. Now, I'm a couple years out, so a lot of things have changed for me. Oh my gosh. Is this about to be 3 years? Y'all, we're gonna have to go back into that and figure it out. Because if this makes my 3rd year, we're gonna have to celebrate, okay? Like, that's how y'all know that everything is gonna get better. Life is gonna get back to normal because you're gonna lose track of time. I'm literally sitting here and I'm like, wait a minute. I can't believe I've come this far. And I'm just so happy just to be where I am today. So yeah, let's not get off subject. Anyway, so yes, again, not being able to drink and eat, that was something I struggled with and I had to get used to. I had to learn to put the drink aside, wait at least 30 minutes before I ate, and try to eat food. And like I said, just because I was able to eat today doesn't mean I was able to eat the same tomorrow. So you have to understand that today is not tomorrow and tomorrow is not going to be yesterday or the next day. Every single day is a process. and you have to be able to just live within the process. It's very hard to do that, and I believe that it's much easier to tell someone to do it once you've already overcome it. But I'm telling you, it will make it so much easier on you if you just focus on the right now. Because as the days and the weeks continue to go on, you'll realize that every single thing you've been struggling with will become easier. You just have to learn how to make it easy on yourself. You're also going through a weight loss journey. So you have to understand that the weight is going to come off. So even if you are eating or not eating, you are going to lose those pounds. But you want to be able to provide your body with the nutrition that it needs. So if you aren't able to get protein by eating meats, which of course many of us could not eat any meats, then hey, you need to see what week it says you can start smoothies and protein. For me, I slacked when it came down to the protein. I then started putting protein in my oatmeal and protein in my smoothie, but my brain wasn't ready to wrap around the fact that, hey, this is making my food taste different. I'm not really enjoying it, so I would rather eat some of my food than not eat it at all, simply because of the protein. But that is also how come my journey took a different turn. I probably wasn't keeping on as much weight as I could have because I was not doing what I'm simply telling you guys to do now, which is, even if you don't want to do something or you don't like something, to still allow those routines to set in, because sometimes it's not the surgery that's taking a turn. Sometimes it's you not allowing yourself to take a turn. Do not do that. And I say it very strongly, don't do it. Because a lot of you ask questions about, oh, hey, did you purposely lose so much weight because I saw you got so small, or was it VSG? Honestly, I did not do any dieting at all. I just took it day by day and went with my journey. So obviously it was the VSG surgery, but at the same time, I do believe that I did not help any of my weight stay on, simply because I was not working out when I should have, and I was not taking my protein when I should have. So I have a lot of questions about you guys saying, hey, it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, etc. no progress. Well, I went maybe a week or two, no progress, and then the next week or two, I was down 15 pounds. Everybody's journey is different, depends on what you're doing in that moment of your journey. If you are not drinking enough fluids, if you are not doing simple workouts, maybe walking or something, because again, remember, we're all at a different weight before this surgery. So I went in at 200 pounds, but then we have other things that factor. I was 200 pounds, I'm 5'4". I've had someone tell me, oh, we kind of look alike, so I think we were the same, yet my journey is nothing like yours. I can't eat, I don't see any progress at the same time, da 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 da. She's 5'7" maybe, and then maybe still weighing 200 pounds. Well, our weight is probably in two different places. Why? Because 5'7" and 5'4" are two different statues. A lot of my weight, again, was in my BBL, my butt. I had weight all over my body, trust me, but a lot of it carried in my butt. Maybe more weight carries in your stomach. Maybe more weight carries in your arms, your hip. You know, you don't know. Or you may be just like me and more weight is carrying in your butt. But the same way that in life, you may look at someone and you're like, dang, they've been small all our life. The metabolism is different. My sister, she has always been small. She's never gained weight, and she eats like crazy. I'm not even being funny. I'm talking about eating like all the time, and she's so small. You would never know. Metabolism, very different. I used to eat like that, and guess what? I was 200 pounds on the table having VSG surgery. So everyone is different. I didn't even realize that I was getting so small until so many people kept saying how small I was, and then finally I started taking pictures. And when I took pictures, I was like, wow, I am a stick. I went through many different emotions. I was finally so happy to not see my butt anymore. And for a lot of you, I am getting messages saying, hey, I have a BBL, but I don't want to lose it. For me, personally, I did not care about losing my BBL, honestly. Now, I don't know if I wanted to get that skinny and lose that much of it, but it happened, and I didn't care, because the entire time I just kept saying, hey, I want to have this surgery because I don't want this butt anymore. That was my main goal. So you have to ask yourself again, what is your main goal of having this surgery? The thing that I had to really put in my head was, even though I'm having this surgery to lose my butt, it is an overall weight loss procedure. So just because in my head I want to get rid of this BBL, a little bit of it, I want to lose a little bit of weight, I still have to understand that it is an overall weight loss. So I can't tell you where the weight is going to come off or how much, because you're not going in and you're not having cosmetic surgery where you can tell them this is what I want or don't want, and they're giving you just that. You're going in and you're taking away half of your stomach, and then after that procedure, you're now not even able to eat right away. And then when you are, not the same amount ever again. I'm 2-3 years post-op, and till this day, I still cannot eat as much food as the normal person. Everybody around me has a plate full of food, and I still have a palm full of food, and that's if I can still finish it. So you're never going to be able to eat the same. That was also another reason I wanted to have surgery. I believe in one of my videos, I spoke to you guys about being okay with it being an overall change, because I overate. And I did see messages with people talking to me about overeating. I think I wrote it down. Overeating, to me, is a huge, huge problem. Many people have that problem. And I see the problem around me every day, all day. People say, I'm so full. And then I look and I'm like, why are you still eating? You just said you're full. I might as well finish what's on my plate. It's like I had the plate left. It's okay if we put the food away and you can touch it maybe later or tomorrow. It's okay. But the brain just wraps around. It's on my plate. I see it. I have room. My stomach can make room. I'm about to just do it. Even if I eat and I'm like this. I'm full. I can't move. Now I'm stuck watching TV. Don't feel like turning the light off. Don't feel like getting the remote. You know, like, we're okay. I've been there before as well. I have been there before to where I am so full and I am just not, I don't want to move. I don't want to go nowhere. I might want to take a nap. You know, like that type of full. I am so happy that I don't get full like that anymore. Now, no lie, I do get to the point to where nowadays I'm like, okay, whew, I ate. Like, I was hungry. But it's still not that sluggish full. It's still not overeating, because I cannot overeat. Once my body tells me I'm full, I am done. I don't overdo another bite. I don't even think about it twice when I feel that I'm full, because you're going to learn your body. Okay? Keep on going day by day, and you are going to learn. This is going to come like this. It's not going to be any steps to take anymore. You're not going to have to think about it. You're not going to have to go back and read about it. You're going to know, I ate, that's enough, I'm full. And it is not going to matter what anybody says, thinks, or how they feel about it. Because so many people around me used to feel some type of way because I wasn't eating as much. And guess what? I can't care. I don't even think about anybody else. Especially now. I've gotten this far along in my journey that I'm just living my life. Anything else, anybody else, I'm living for me. Your problem with overeating is going to come to a halt once you have the surgery, because it will be impossible. Now, I don't know. I have watched some shows where some people have had medical problems and they've had to have this procedure, and I'm sitting there like this. I think I was watching maybe my 600 pounds one day. The lady had to go in, they did the weight loss surgery on her, and the next 2 days, she was back eating the same amount of food that she ate before. I couldn't understand, like, how? I could barely hold down water. Like, how was she able to do this? But at the same time, we are two different sizes, you know, 1000%. And maybe taking away some of her stomach still left her with so much that she still had the room to do that. I was already smaller than what a typical person who goes to have weight loss surgery is. So losing weight for me began slowly, but then it started going kind of fast. And then once it started going, there was no way for me to be able to try to gain that weight or pick that weight back up because I could no longer overeat. So maybe if I was taking the protein, it would have helped. Maybe if I was working out, it would have helped. I don't know. That is the only reason I say, hey, if you're able to work out, take your protein, do it. Because I cannot say, oh, that was a part of why I lost so much weight, or I would have gained my weight or kept my weight. I have no idea. What I do know is once you start losing weight, you will not be able to just eat and pick the weight up like that. I wanted an overall lifestyle change. I didn't want to eat as much. I didn't want to look how I looked. I didn't want to feel how I felt. I wanted a reboot. I wanted to start over. The surgery was going to give me a chance to start over. And I don't care if I dropped down to 90 pounds. I was okay with it because I wanted to be able to build my body back up naturally to how I wanted it to look, where I would be comfortable, whether it was my mental, whether it was self-esteem, whether it was for others, whatever you gotta say, whatever makes you feel better and helps you sleep at night. Just know that you have to identify with the problem and then be okay that once you take the step to solve the problem. And my step to solve my problem, my first step was to have this surgery. There is no telling how the journey is going to go. My journey went down to 116 pounds. When I started taking those pictures and I started seeing how skinny I was, that's when I said, you know what? I need to focus on the part that I've been skipping throughout my journey, which is working out and taking my protein. On top of that, I also told you guys in another video, I was taking, I think it's called Apetamin. What that did was, it does not help you gain weight. It makes you be able to eat more food, more often. Or at least that's what it did for me. So let's say that I was going throughout this journey, and throughout the journey I had many days or I had a week, whatever it was, that I just couldn't think about food. I didn't want to eat. I wasn't hungry. I was just going day by day. And once I got on that, I would realize that I was more hungrier than I normally would have ever been. So I would wake up hungry. I would be hungry throughout the day. I would go to sleep hungry. I was just always wanting to eat something. So even though I couldn't put a lot of food down at once, I ate at many different times, and I will eat small things all the time. So I would be snacking on my food kind of like throughout the day. That's how often it made me eat. On top of that, I was then really focused on my protein. So I would do maybe 1 or 2 smoothies a day with my protein. I also got into working out. I started doing exercises that was toning my body and building muscles in certain areas. Now, no lie, when it came to being in the gym with machines, I'm not really that good at it, never have been. So I did a lot of home workouts, but home workouts, that is better than no workouts at all, because it helped me be able to look how I look right now. Not really having a lot of loose skin was always a huge thing for me. But when I was smaller, many areas didn't look how I wanted it to look. Now that I've gained weight and I've been working out and introducing my body to muscle built workouts, my body is now transitioning to how I love for it to look. So you have to understand that you have to put the work in. So, pros and cons of Apetamin. Someone asked me, do I recommend it? You will build an appetite. You will be hungry throughout the day. Now, I don't know how long it took for it to kick in because it has been a long time ago, but it does work. The cons of taking it is once I stopped taking it, I realized I went right back to not feeling hungry again or not being able to eat as much again. I'm not snacking throughout the day as much, or I'm not hungry as much, but then I also wasn't trying to put on the wrong kind of weight either, because I did notice that I was eating a little too much. So maybe that was a part of one of my cons. Yeah, it gave me an appetite, maybe eat all the time, but then the downfall was continuing to take it. I started feeling like I was eating way too much. I started feeling like I was putting on just a few more pounds than I wanted to. So if you don't want to overeat, you do have to remember that, hey, this is going to make you eat. So it doesn't make you put on weight, it makes you eat all the things that will eventually allow you to put on weight. When I started taking it, I was at a phase to where now when I was eating, the weight was staying on. Because you're going to go through a phase, and no matter what you eat, no matter what you do, the weight is not going to start picking up. But then once you hit a certain milestone, mine I believe was a year or so after surgery, that's when I started truly being able to gain weight and keep weight on. And when I noticed I was just eating, I was starting to put on a little too much than I wanted to. So I stopped taking it. And when I stopped taking it, it stopped working, and that's exactly what I needed it to do. So just keep those factors in your head when it comes down to the pros and cons. Outside of that, it did not give me any crazy side effects. It didn't do anything. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. I did not experience anything bad when it comes to that. If you are trying to pick up your eating habit and you're trying to, put a little weight on or keep weight on, yeah, I would definitely recommend that. I was looking up one day and I just started picking up weight within the weeks or the months, and eventually I was at the size that I wanted to be, along with doing my home workouts. How to be able to keep the weight on? I have been keeping weight on since I spoke to you guys about my weight gain. I believe it was maybe last May, when I did a video. I can't really remember was it that time frame, because I know I started trying to officially gain my weight between like February and March of last year, and then within maybe May, June, not even May, honestly I would say June, July, my weight really had picked up and I was loving how I was feeling. And so from let's just say last May, and now it's almost May again of 2023, I am still a size that I love. I have not lost any drastic weight. I've stayed within the same size. So I've either been between 135 or 140. I have been juggling within the last year. I can't tell you what you should or should not be doing or eating or taking, but for me personally, I eat every single thing that I ate before. I just don't eat as much. Actually, let me correct that. So when I say I eat every single thing I ate before, there are a lot of things that my body just could not get back to eating after surgery. That's different. Let me explain exactly what I mean. So let's say, for instance, I can choose in between chicken or I can choose in between steak. Well, the difference is if I have this much chicken, we're talking about the palm of my hand, and I have this much steak, I will probably be able right now today to finish this entire piece of chicken by eating it slowly, and it still may take me maybe 20-30 minutes, if that. Well, when it comes to this steak, same size steak, but because it's heavier, I probably can only eat maybe 2 bites and I'm already full. So that's the difference on me deciding what do I want to eat or what do I not want to eat. Do I want to be able to get enough food down to where I can finish this entire piece of chicken and now I know I have enough protein in me, I know I have enough of this, enough of that, or do I only want to take 2 bites of this and I'm full and now I have to wait another hour and try to eat something else? To me, steak is always my last option to eat because I am not able to get enough of it down. It does not digest in my body as well as chicken, fish, shrimp, things like that. So you just have to listen to your body and know what you can or can't do. It does not mean that you can't eat it. It just simply says how much of it are you really able to eat and is it worth it? So that's what I look at. Another thing that I cannot eat that I enjoyed before surgery, oysters. Tried to eat oysters, over and over again. I'm talking about different stages since surgery. Does not work. My body does not like oysters. I don't know why. I cannot tell you. So there are going to be some things that, yes, you can eat, but for some reason your body just may not like it anymore. It may not want it anymore. I was very big on seafood, boiled seafood. Well, one problem is that I realized I don't like it as much after surgery. I still can eat it, but I'm not really huge on it. You'll be able to eat your favorite foods, but then some foods your body is just gonna say no to, or you may not like, I don't know the reason, or some things may be a little heavier than others, and that's how come it may not be filling you up, or you may not be able to eat a lot of it because it may be just too heavy. After discussing all the food, after seeing how much you can eat, how much you can't eat, what you like, what you don't like, a lot of people ask me, when did I see the changes in my body? And again, after a year or so, that's when I started noticing changes. For one, I noticed the change of when I lost so much weight. I mean, it was there. It only took me 3 to 4 months to be able to make the change and start gaining weight. A couple other things that I actually wanted to talk about that's not on here is dealing with mental health throughout this entire process. I spoke about this, I believe, before, and this is one thing I don't believe you can talk about too much. Mentally, this journey is going to take you through some things. You're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days, you're gonna have some happy days, you're gonna have some sad days, and honestly, I cannot tell you how this will affect you mentally, which it is going to take an effect because no one wants to go through an emotional roller coaster. So you can be happy as soon as you have this surgery when you start seeing the weight fall off, and then you'll see yourself feeling sad and feeling like, why did I do this, or was it worth it because now too much weight is coming off. I have gone through all of that. Going through this journey and the steps that it takes to be able to know, like, hey, let me not feel so sad because it's not moving how I want it to move, or let me not struggle with trying to figure out how to push something in a different direction quicker than how it's supposed to be going. That is what I believe I was taking myself through. When I got to the point to where I was losing more weight than I really wanted to, I went through an emotional roller coaster. Like, darn, I didn't even realize I was losing so much weight. Then I was like, but I'm happy I lost this weight. Then other people start affecting how I feel, because it's like, oh, you're so skinny and you're so this, and then they will make jokes like, oh girl, I could blow you out the way. It was just so many different things that was going on around me that start making me feel like, well, I wanted the surgery, I wanted to lose weight, but now should I have done it, or I'm looking like how I shouldn't have looked before. You know, I just went through all of those things. But then I also continue to put me first. And putting me first was knowing that, hey, yes, block it all out. You wanted to lose this weight, you lost it. So now, what are you going to do to get yourself to a size that you want to be? It's about you. So it's not about what other people may say, what they think, the jokes, or anything else. Are you happy with the size? Some people do want to be small like that. Some people are happy with that. For me personally, I did not want to get that small. I was not happy with how much weight I lost. When I look back, and sometimes it takes us to go through the journey to look back on the journey, because sometimes we don't see it as we're going through it. But once you get past a hurdle and now you're where you want to be, now you can look back and say, you know what, it was worth me being 116, because I was able to build my body exactly how I wanted to look right now. Everything matches, everything is proportioned, nothing's heavier, nothing's anything. I have no complaints. And if I have complaints, it's just simply because I'm a human and we're never satisfied. So don't let anything, even yourself, make you feel like you've taken the wrong steps. No, what you did was you took the first proper step, which was identifying your problem. And then your second step was solving the problem. Not the overall problem, just solving the problem of identifying what it is. And once you solve the problem, now you're taking the steps to now make those changes And now to turn that problem around to us and make that solution better. So my advice to anyone who's out here mentally struggling with their weight, mentally struggling with the process, mentally struggling with the challenges that you're facing, it is okay. I don't think it's a lot talking about this subject, which is why I did feel like it was important to get on here and answer you guys' questions, because I do want to still let you guys know that, hey, I relate to your situation. I understand your situation firsthand. So I never want to disappear on you guys when it comes to talking about this kind of stuff. But do whatever it is that you need to do so that you can continue to tell yourself, like, hey, I'm gonna be okay. I feel like I've been talking way too long than I normally would talk, you guys. But I do want to talk about two last things. And the two last things I want to talk about is, we spoke about it before, it's alcohol. And I've talked to you guys about being able to consume way more alcohol than I feel like I should. And then on top of that, not knowing truly what my limit is and going beyond because I've lost so much weight. Honestly, I've had to seriously slow down on my alcohol intake. I'm allowing myself to learn that there are certain distractions my body was trying to take. And I feel like my body was picking up me being able to drink more alcohol than eat more food at one point. And I didn't like the effect that it was taking on me. I've always been heavier. So being able to drink maybe 2-3 drinks, a couple shots, didn't really affect me the way it affects me right now. And sometimes I don't realize how much it affects me until I wake up the next day and it's like, darn, I had a night last night. And sometimes the nights are good, but then sometimes it's like, okay, I had a little too much to drink. I did notice that it was becoming too much for me personally. And I do feel like I agree with a lot of people who have had this surgery. Alcohol does become a big deal. And you don't realize how much you're drinking until you're drinking. For one, you're still not able to eat as much food. It is something that I would say, don't allow it to become a problem, because it was a problem for me, and I see many people who have had this surgery talk about it. And then if it does become a problem, start easing your way out of it before it becomes too much. Therefore, you can slow it down and you'll be able to see how much you can take and how much you cannot. And last thing I want to talk about is pH balance. So I've never been the type that ever had any true pH issues, but I have noticed that after surgery, I've had many different things that affect my body differently to where my pH has changed. Eating certain foods or not eating enough foods, and then I was drinking more alcohol than I typically do. I was drinking water, but probably not as much water. I noticed that all of that started to take a toll on my pH. Do pay attention to that. I remember making an appointment with my doctor to sit down with her and tell her, like, hey, I know that there's nothing crazy going on, but it's also not nothing, because I'm accustomed to my body. I know my body. I read my body. She and I, we best friends. So I'm knowing that it's some different things going on and happening. She did suggest me to take a probiotic, and that has helped me tremendously. On top of that, I start realizing what are certain things I was eating or doing that was kind of messing with my pH. And when you heard me talk about not eating as much seafood like I used to before, that was one thing that I realized was messing up my pH balance tremendously. I used to eat seafood all the time, and I'm guessing with my weight loss, it just affects me differently. So that's one important factor why I had to slow down on eating as much of my crabs and my shrimps and things like that. So if you're going through the same issue that I have gone through when it comes down to having the up and down with the pH, definitely look into what you're eating, what you're drinking, and how much of it you are consuming, because that could be a reason to why you're having ups and downs with your pH level. Another thing that I took for my pH was called Fresh. And with that specific pill, you only take it as needed, and it is not an oral pill. So if you're okay with that, then that was another thing that worked for me tremendously. I haven't seen anyone truly talk about their pH and if anything has changed it. And yes, I definitely went through those struggles once my diet changed. and your diet will change your pH 100%. So yeah, I really hope this video helped you guys. I hope I truly went into details with my answers. And again, as always, if y'all have more questions, stop messaging me saying, oh, is it weird I'm asking, or I know I sound crazy. No, you guys don't sound weird. You don't sound crazy. Nothing is wrong with you. You're asking valid questions. Y'all are talking to me about valid issues, okay? I wish I saw so many videos with people being so transparent and answering all these questions like how I try to answer your questions. So no, you are not being weird. You guys are just trying to be informed, and there is nothing wrong with wanting all the information you can get. Continue to comment in my videos, continue to DM me, and I will respond back if I can. And then if not, y'all know I'm always gonna try to drop another video. Per usual, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this video helps. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. And I will see you next time.